I would love to bring back the Buddy Smut Hour to the Patreon feed.
Once I clean out the garage...
That was a joke. I don't actually want that.
No.
Padded Room Radio is coming in fast on your bitch ass. My name is Darian. I have returned for another week of horror nonsense. Wasting my time, wasting your time. Let's waste our time together with Mr. Jason Harrell, who has returned.
I am here, and I am wasting my time for damn sure.
You bet your sweet ass you are. Who else is wasting our time with us tonight? Buddy.
Hey.
Buddy.
I'm back.
Buddy. What's going on, fellas? What's new? What's going on with you guys?
What's new with you, buddy?
Buddy, we missed you. What's it been? 3-4 weeks now?
No, 3 weeks. I'm trying to think of
3.
2 weeks.
It's been a while.
Yeah, a little while.
It's been a while, my friend.
I know I popped in here one time.
You did. You did.
He made
here once.
a rare guest appearance.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's going on, dude? How you been? Just working?
Yeah, working a lot, trying to just... We got new racking going on at work, but other than
I've
that,
got some new racking going on
yeah.
also.
So just prepping for that. Enough about work, though. Other than that, my uncle just passed away.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Sunday morning.
Every time we see you, you got another tragedy to unload on us.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I hate it, but I'm with that.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, bring your emotional baggage in here and leave it.
Right.
Feel better when you leave, we hope, is what we're going for. Well, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
But, Padded Room family, we're here for you,
Absolutely.
fella. I'm going to give you a hug.
And we're also here to watch various family members fall off left and right.
Yeah.
It's the curse of the Padded Room.
It just permeates through all of life.
Somehow, I am impervious to it. Like, I'm the only one that hasn't lost a mom so far.
That's a good thing.
I don't know I'm the only one asking to lose.
Yeah, I was going to say.
My mom alive and kicking. I can't get rid of this bitch. Oh, shit, Jason. What's up with you, big guy?
Let's see. Still back at work.
Yeah.
Did take a 4-day weekend.
Attaboy.
Because how dare I show up?
Right.
Because why not?
I did just get my first paycheck in over a year.
Okay.
So that was nice.
That's nice.
Like 1 day's worth?
Well, okay.
It was 2 hours.
Technically, I got 2 paychecks. One was for 1 day,
Okay.
the last day of April, and then I
Oh,
just
my
got a
goodness.
full month of pay.
Attaboy.
It cost me roughly $1,100 in gas to go earn that check,
Ugh.
but it was worth it. So
Was it, though? I mean,
Yeah, right?
1,100's a big number.
yeah, it's okay.
All right, well.
Hey, balance. I'm almost done.
Okay, good for you.
Let's see.
Good.
We
About broke
got some big updates to the Padded Room website
Yeah?
that I
What's
got
happening
put
to us?
in. We'll get into that a little bit further when you make some announcements.
Okay, fair enough.
And Sarah and I have officially launched our Halloween website.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Shit.
That just kind of lets you get an insight to all of the prior years of Halloween and stuff. 1031 Halloween.
Halloween.
No, 1031halloween.com.
It's not Halloween anymore?
It takes you to Halloween.
Oh, okay.
I figured nobody could spell Harold.
I mean, it's a lot of syllables to pack into one. Halloween.
I didn't feel like spelling it out for everybody, so
get
I
that.
bought a second domain name just to send people to the right one.
Because why not?
I mean, why those extra 7 keystrokes? They'll really white knuckle you.
It's well worth the $8.
Absolutely.
And that's about it.
Right on, dudes. Gentlemen, I am fresh out of a kindergarten graduation.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
The whole
That
shit.
math really held you up for a
It
while.
did.
Yeah.
It did. But I am now officially a first grader. Higher education, bigger paycheck. Here I come.
Nice.
No, it's my daughter's. She just graduated kindergarten. Dude.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
It is. And I don't know about you guys, but I never had a graduation for kindergarten.
No.
Dude. No. When the fuck did this start? Now I got to take off of work early. I got to go down there. I got to sit in a sweaty ass gym. It's 350 degrees in there. While my daughter runs me through the entire catalog of Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Ooh.
She has to sing the whole thing front to back,
Wow.
starting with the Pledge of Allegiance, which I actually thought was pretty nice. That was the best part of it.
And surprising.
Yeah, and then we got speeches and pomp and circumstance. It's a whole ass thing.
These kids can barely put blocks together.
They can't do it, Jason. It was great though.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a couple hours. Got me out of work early, so there's
Yeah.
that. And she's now in kindergarten. The thing that really sucks though is my son was in kindergarten in 2020, so he got fucked out of his kindergarten celebration.
Oh, yeah.
So now
In a big way.
He's in there watching us, sitting with us during Daphne's kindergarten graduation, going.
Never too late to gift.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with something.
Buy
right?
that love.
But I'll just throw my wallet at him.
Yeah.
Roblox, Robux, whatever.
Whatever the
Pokemon
kids are
dollars.
into.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know anymore. I'm gonna get some Bitcoin or fucking whatever.
Bitcoin.
Oh, you're really hip to the lingo.
I am. I don't even know what they're doing anymore. Right on, dude. So we got some horror news, some listener mail, all the usual shit. You guys ready to get into a regular horror show?
Yeah.
Let's get it on. Here comes some horror news.
Horror news.
J-Bo, what do you got?
Well, let's start it off with this right here.
Put
Pre-ordered.
that back in your pants, will you?
Pre-ordered you a little something a while back,
Oh, shit.
and this ties in directly with some horror news.
Oh, boy.
So reach in and pull her out
Oh, here I go.
to my crotch.
Here I go. Why is it wet? Ooh, oh, no. The horror workout. Linnea Quigley's horror workout on Blu-ray? Are you
Yep.
serious?
Previously only seen on very expensive
Very
VHS
expensive
tapes.
VHSs.
A limited run, limited
Wow.
release from Terror Vision,
Holy
which is
shit.
a kind of an up-and-coming boutique label.
Okay.
They have released that and copious amounts of Linnea Quigley horror workout swag
Okay.
at Terror Vision's website.
What kind of swag are
You
they
can
offering?
get the soundtrack on LP. You can get shirts, stickers,
Wow.
pins. You can get all kinds of shit.
Holy bananas. I'm not kidding, inmates. This is an actual Blu-ray of Linnea Quigley's horror workout. Complete with leg warmers, leotards, probably a chainsaw made out of styrofoam.
Probably some jazzercise and zombies.
I hope
in there.
so.
What year is that?
What,
Oh, boy,
86 maybe?
86?
Something
Oh,
like
my
that?
gosh.
I don't know.
Not
Is there
real
a-
sure. It's a thing she did, and you really up until this right here, you would only find it on a VHS
VHS.
tape that would average close to around $300 on
Oh
eBay.
my gosh.
Yes. Finding this is next to impossible. Well, thank you very much, Jason. That's an
Yeah.
actual thing. You said terrorvision.com?
Yeah, terror-vision.com, I
For
believe,
Linnea
is their
Quigley's
website.
Blu-ray.
They've got a lot
Horror
of
workout.
soundtracks to a lot of obscure horror movies.
Okay.
On cassette
Wow.
and vinyl.
Okay.
They've got some good stuff on there.
I'm going to have to get in there.
Scream Factory set to release Nightbreed in 4K
Ooh.
August 1st.
Okay.
So that will be something I will not be picking up. But I figured I'd mention it to you.
I probably am going to have to, yeah.
This last bit is horror adjacent only because of who is involved.
Okay.
So the Saska sisters
Oh yeah.
have been picked up to do a comic book release called Yaira by there's a guy named Eric July. He started basically his own comic brand called
Right.
the Rippaverse.
Okay.
I am a huge fan of his and what he's doing. He's doing great things with his ISOM comic
Cool.
But really cool to see the Soska sisters get pulled in. They're hoping to release it end of this year or early next year.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it.
Right on.
I thought you would be interested in that because I know you're a fan of theirs and comics.
I am. I'm into that.
That's all I got.
Right on, buddy. Anything?
I know you're a Warhammer fan, right?
I am a Warhammer dork, yes.
So there's a new Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 gameplay out there.
I know. I have
Yes.
Space Marine 1.
Yeah?
Deacon plays the shit out of it on our old Xbox 360.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no release date as of yet, but you can still pre-order Space Marine 2's physical collector edition from the Focus Entertainment Store. The game is currently developed for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via stream.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll probably grab that when it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Last House on the Left remake from 2009 is coming to limited edition Arrow Video Blu-ray. Yeah, it is on August 22nd. You can pre-order your copy through Diabolic right now.
You guys seen that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you think?
It was all right.
As far as remakes go, it's probably better. I mean,
It was pretty cookie cutter, but I mean, it was still, you know,
so
still decent.
What I like about it is that it removed the comedic aspects from Last House on the Left, because that was a big problem for me. Was the two bumbling cops and them having to catch rides with chicken trucks and stuff like that. All in the meantime, these two innocent young girls are being raped and brutalized.
What, that don't tickle your funny bone?
I mean, well, which part?
It tickled my funny bone.
Yeah.
Funny boner.
Funny boner. It did have Garrett Dillahunt in, who I really enjoy, but I feel like it kind of lacked the cruelty of the original.
Oh, 100%.
Because in the new one, in that dumb shit thing with the microwave at the end,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was really stupid.
That's pretty stupid.
Anyway, as far as remakes go, I'm not mad at it. I just felt like it wasn't really a remake of Last House on the Left.
No, it was a very mainstream horror
Crime
movie.
drama, kind of a...
That was, you know, kind of leeching off of a known title.
I would agree. Right on.
M. Night Shyamalan Man is a producer of an upcoming thriller titled Caddo Lake. Yes, it is. They finally got a MPA rating. It's going to be rated PG-13 for some disturbing, bloody images, thematic elements, and brief, strong language.
Okay.
So nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
And the plot revolves around when an 8-year-old girl mysteriously vanishes on Caddo Lake. A series of past deaths and disappearances begin to link together, forever altering a broken family's history.
PG-13 means fuck all to me. That means
I could care less.
you're looking at like an after-school special, pretty much.
Right.
You know? It sucks.
But I mean, you can watch some rated R movies that are just as milquetoast
It's
as
true.
some PG movies.
Yeah, it's true.
It's all just so subjective, it seems.
Yeah. Like, I saw an interview with Rob Zombie where he was talking about the original House of it was Devil's Rejects, actually, where they were actually going to give him an X rating for it, which I fully understand.
Yeah.
But they cared very little about the violence or the gore. It was more they were more worried about the nudity involved, and that's what tipped him over the edge.
There was a scene in one of the Friday the 13th where they couldn't get a rated R rating because of the number of times a severed head bounced.
Oh my gosh.
All they had to do was remove a couple of like bounces and they were good to go.
Nice. I don't get
No,
it.
it's stupid.
It is stupid. I was being sarcastic. It is pretty dumb. I don't know, man.
All right, that's all I got. What do you got?
Hey, now, are you like me? Do you
I
have,
hope not.
what's that supposed to mean? Are you a fan of chia pets?
You know I am.
Yeah, I know that you are. Well, I've got some good news for you, Jason Harrell. Jenna Ortega and Ghostface chia pets are coming out this fall.
Oh boy.
I don't know why.
Is it Ghostface and then her muff? I mean,
I don't know. I think it's some kind of a Wednesday Addams situation. And I don't know where Ghostface grows hair out of. He's wearing a hood, so I don't know.
maybe it's his cape.
Could be, sure. What else we got here? The Barn Part 2, presently streaming on Screenbox. Are you ready to subscribe to Screenbox yet?
I already have it on Blu-ray. I just haven't watched it
that's
yet.
right. You
Yeah.
got it off of eBay, you son of a
Yes.
bitch. I got some bad
I'm one of the 3 people.
That's right. So it's got Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy the Mail Girl in it, I've noticed. And a bunch of other, I think Jeffrey Combs is in it. I'm just going off of what I saw on IMDb. But
They definitely took all of their profits from one and spent it on a couple of cameos.
Just hired every fucking guy they could to get in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I love that about them. I hope it's not a complete piece of shit. Bad news for you, sir.
Uh-oh.
The Last of Us Season 2.
Yep.
Pushed back to 2025.
That's fine.
Wow.
I mean,
Why?
I don't know. Probably has something to do with this writer's strike.
Writer's
I'm sure.
strike.
Oh, okay.
Some other horse shit. Trailers are up for Fear the Invisible Man, a new adaptation of the H.P. Wells Invisible Man. I'm
Okay.
into it. Did you guys see the last one? With
No, he's invisible. But I'm bummed.
we do this. I do this for free, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I saw it. We really liked
It's pretty good, right?
That was one of our very few, I think, 2020 theatrical movies.
You must have caught it right when it came out, because it came out and then boom, shut down.
Yep.
I remember that because I was looking at pre-orders when I was told I didn't have a job anymore because everything was shut down. Right on. I'm into it. I don't think I mean, the original Invisible Man wasn't really. It was more of a work of science fiction. Mm-hmm. But the Lee Winnell version was much more horror. Had like the spousal abuse element to it, which I thought was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Only thing I didn't like about it was the invisible suit.
Yeah.
Which I thought kind of made him look scaly and kind of tentacles kind of a thing. I don't know. Five Nights at Freddy's. Help Wanted 2 is coming to PS5 later this year.
Okay.
I'm going to get it. I'm going
Nice.
to play it. Probably going to fucking
Crap your pants.
scare myself to death.
Yeah.
Speaking of Five Nights at Freddy's, there's a horror movie coming out, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, isn't it?
So posters are up for the movie adaptation. It's going to be a Blumhouse thing.
Ah.
So could be good, could be bad, could be full of woke stuff
Right.
because that's what Blumhouse does these days. I'm going to check it out either way.
Yeah, same.
See what's going on there. That's all we got on the horror news, you maniacs. You ready for some listener mail?
You bet.
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
Listener mail.
Yes, sir. We have 0 emails this week. We do have a couple of voicemails, though. And before I get into those, though, I should tell you that the paddedroompodcast.com is now live and running with this year's Terradome bracket. What you can do right now, inmates, is go over to paddedroompodcast.com, click the Terradome link, and you're going to see the bracket in its entirety for this year's one-off Terradome tournament. So what we're doing this year, we're only doing horror movie villains that have only been in one movie as opposed to our usual franchise favorites. So you're going to see people in there like Rose the Hat. You're going to see fucking Dr. Giggles in there.
Yeah, boy, you are.
Try not to
Whether
giggle.
you want to or not.
He's coming at you. Rawhead Rex was taken by Tim. Jimmy Bones was taken by Alan. They're all in there. They're all fighting.
Sammy Kerr.
Sammy Kerr. What you can do this year, inmates, instead of writing in or calling in, you can just go to the paddedroompodcast.com, click the Terradome link, click which one you want to win. There's like a whole forum up there, and you can pick who you think is going to win. So what we're going to do this year, as opposed to previous years, we're going to count the online votes as one vote. If you actually call or write into the show listener mail segment, those votes will count as 2 votes. And then, of course, our personal votes, the hosts here, will still count as 1. So you have potential to cast 3 votes per week. Bear that in mind. And you can also still choose a competitor. The only ones taken so far are Jimmy Bones and Rawhead Rex.
Sammy Kerr.
Who's taking Sammy Kerr?
Tom Hardy took Sammy Kerr.
You're
I
right.
believe.
You're exactly right. Tom Hardy did take Sammy Kerr. I'm going to put Tom Hardy down for Sammy Kerr right now because he called in and he said Sammy Kerr. God damn it. I was going to take Sammy Kerr, but that's fine.
I was too.
That's fine. Tom Hardy, you want Sammy Kerr? You got Sammy Kerr. Right on. So that being said, let's get into some voicemails here, amigos. All right, let's kick things off with our main man in Alabama. Here comes Alan.
Hello.
Hey, Alan.
Padded room, what's up?
What's up, Alan?
Everybody's doing good. So, Darian, you are the Supernaturals.
You got
remember
me.
that movie from when I was a little kid, seeing the box art and stuff.
The box art was
Finally watched
kick-ass.
It was low budget, it was 80s, but
It's
I
dumb as
liked
shit.
it.
Okay. LeVar
Meat
Burton.
Hook, Cemetery movies.
Yes.
I'm going to go with number 3, Cemetery Man.
My man.
Number 2, Return of the Living Dead.
That's a good one.
And number 1, it's Fulci City of the Dead,
Yeah.
where the priest hangs himself in the cemetery and then the chick pukes her guts
Blows
up
all of her guts out.
I love Fulci. I'm not a big Argento guy.
Doesn't
but
make a lot of
Fulci's the
sense.
Man. I'm pretty sure Jason Harrell wants to fight me after watching Bloody Muscle bodybuilder in hell, but that's okay. Really enjoyed that movie.
It is something.
I watched The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Oh, that's a good one.
Finally, I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
I watched this movie called Omega Cop, which was
Omega
low
Cop.
budget
Sounds like a
action
trauma.
post-apocalypse thing.
Okay.
It was goofy, but I enjoyed it.
It's called Omega.
And then I watched this movie from like '84. Jesse told me about called Mutant, which was just really. It ended up being really good. It's like a zombie/vampire toxic waste type movie.
Sure.
Boy.
Found all this on Tubi.
Okay.
Anyway, hope everybody's doing good. Talk to y'all later.
It's got to
Bye.
have trauma attached to
I
it
mean,
somehow.
come on. There's too much stuff going on there to not have trauma involved. Right on, Alan. Thanks for calling in. You got me. I was, of course, I don't fucking remember. Hold on. Yeah, Supernaturals. Have you guys ever seen that?
Doesn't ring a bell. I do think I have some memories of the box art, though.
The box art was kick-ass. It had like a skull with a Confederate hat on it. It had, what's her name from Star Trek? The black lady, Lieutenant.
Uhura?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was like a the army commander of the squad.
Oh.
Very hard to buy her as like a military hard ass, but LeVar Burton in there.
Yeah.
Bunch of nobody else. Really
Would have been better if he had his little visor on.
or something, you know. Have him bring out some books, and he's got to
Or
read
a
some
reading
books.
rainbow
That's
pen or
what I'm
something.
saying.
Yeah.
Right on, Alan. You got me on the Supernaturals, buddy. Let's get over to Anderson, Indiana. Here comes Coop Newcomb.
Hey.
Darian, Jason, maybe not Buddy.
What's up, Coop?
Just calling to check in with you guys. Truth be told, I have a fun story for you.
Cool.
My life is going through some pretty big changes right now, which
Uh-oh.
includes a divorce. So I
Oh,
just
shit.
want to let you know I haven't forgot about you guys. I've just been busy, and I just wanted to check in. And little fun fact, last Monday almost went to jail in my padded room T-shirt.
Attaboy.
I wanted to throw that out there anyway.
All right.
I'll be back up to snuff next week, guys. So hope all is well. You guys kick ass. Love the show. Can't wait to hear it.
Love that about you,
Yeah.
Coop.
Next
Hey.
time, try harder and get that padded room shirt in there.
I'm sure you won't be the only one in there with a padded room shirt. I guarantee it. Right on, Coop. Sorry about the divorce, big dog.
Yeah.
Hope it works out and you don't lose your ass in the process, because from what I hear, that can be an actual thing. That's
Hey,
all.
you'll find another guy. I promise. He's out there. Mr. Right is out
Mr.
there.
Right. I hope he's, well manscaped and ready for love.
Drinking
Right
a Bud Light.
Right on, Coop. Thanks for calling in, big guy. That's all we got on the listener mail, guys. You got anything for Coop or Alan?
Love y'all.
Love you two guys.
Thanks
Thanks
all.
for calling in, and I guess it's time to get into a movie, amigos.
¿Aquí es la fiesta?
Sí.
¿Están seguros de que esta es la dirección?
Claro, ¿qué crees que somos estúpidos o qué?
Están haciendo mal. Lo que yo quiero saber es dónde están los 80,000 invitados del Jet Set. ¿No te das cuenta de que son puras mentiras?
Miren lo que encontré.
Siempre es lo mismo con ustedes.
Deblum.
pues tales son los falsos apóstoles, los falsarios. No debemos descuidar aquel que tenemos en el mundo, pues estoy aquí para dar fe de mi presencia. Existo en ti, como en cualquier otro hombre.
¿De qué hombre habla?
Del diablo.
Lo importante es encontrar a Devlin. Esa es su responsabilidad.
Él está muy seguro de que Devlin está poseído por el demonio. Estamos
Susan, ¿no está Tony con tus hijos? ¿No?
Capitán, esto es algo diabólico, una maldita pesadilla.
Usted lo ha dicho. Es una pesadilla. Y aquí, amigo, todos padecemos de pesadillas.
That's right, dudes. It's Cemetery of Terror from 1985. This one got 5.4 stars on IMDb. Written and directed by Ruben Galindo. He's the same guy that did Grave Robbers, Jason. This one stars Hugo Stiglitz, Jose Gomez Parcero, and Betsy Robles. It's got a R rating. I'm not sure why exactly, but it does. I got a kill count of 7 at least on this one. Maybe a little more if I actually took the time to pay attention to it.
Was the one chick, the chick from Grave Robbers that was like 42 years old?
Yes.
I thought it was.
She
looked a lot better in this one.
Well, this is 4 years before Grave
Well,
Robbers.
there it is.
And I don't think
Boy, that was a rough 4 years.
I don't think she looked that much better in this one. She still had a very equestrian face to her.
Equestrian.
You know what I mean? I don't know, man. This one is it's much in the same vein as Grave Robbers. It's got like a whole lot of elements shoved into one movie, which I rather enjoyed myself. It's the same guys. It felt very much like it could have been a sequel or a prequel to Grave Robbers.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think there was any tie-in at all whatsoever.
You could easily see it happening the same night.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Like it just 2 towns over or something like that. Some bananas fucking night in Mexico where all kinds of weird shit went down. So this one actually starts off with like a bizarro kind of, I guess we're going to call it either a flashback or a nightmare sequence. Probably a flashback now that I think of it. You got a guy passed out in front of his TV in his lazy boy recliner, and he's having a nightmare, and he's freaking out, and he's going to a traumatic event in his past where a young lady was trying to get away from a killer in a 5-story building, and the killer is chasing her around. We don't really get to see the killer. We just get to see his hands, and he's got like weird finger claws. They didn't look like fingernails to me. They looked like he had. It wasn't a glove, obviously, but some kind of like fingertip, like pointy.
Looked like the fingertips of the It's Alive baby.
Sure. Yeah, by like raptor talons, kind of. Sort of a thing. Anyway, he's chasing her around, and then she thinks she's getting away, so she hops into an elevator to go down, but then somehow she completely misses the fact that the big killer is in the elevator with her. In the meantime, the cops, along with our guy that's passed out in front of the TV, are surrounding the elevator on the bottom floor. This is the slowest fucking elevator.
Oh my gosh!
In the known world.
Go down to the first floor.
They're all just waiting there with guns drawn as the light on the little thing above the elevator is going 5.
Dramatic pause.
4.
Dramatic pause.
3. At this point, the cops are all taking a coffee break.
Yeah.
Eventually, it opens up, and then you don't get to see the killer, but you get to see the cops unloading their weapons and the dead girl flopping out on the floor. So this killer, he's a big, scary dude, obviously, and his weapon of choice is these ridiculous finger claw situations. Rawr! A rawr! Was that a mountain lion?
You see his feet coming out of the elevator.
You do. You get to see a lot of boots.
Yeah.
He's got some pretty haggard boots on. And that's about the time that our guy wakes up out of his lazy boy recliner. Fucking, he's got that 80s cop hoarders-esque bachelor pad where it's just trash everywhere and empty booze bottles. You don't see that too much anymore these days. Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
What's your Mike? You know what my favorite 80s-esque horror bachelor pad was? Arnold Schwarzenegger's "An End of Days."
Oh,
that scene where he comes in and makes his disgusting breakfast out of like cigarette butts and eggs in the blender and throws a slice of pizza in there. I thought that was great.
Apparently, you did.
Yeah,
for that to be a callback.
Mel Gibson had one in Lethal Weapon where he had like a bunch of pill bottles and like half-drunk beer.
They're all, I guess they're all just all clean and sober now.
I hope so. I hope they're doing better. Stallone had one in Cobra. I'm sure it was disgusting, but I can't remember any of the details of it. So anyway, he wakes up. He's like, he immediately calls the local precinct captain, El Capitan, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on with Devlin?" So Devlin, we find out, is the name of the killer guy. What's going on with Devlin? He's like, hey, Devlin's dead. We killed him. Remember? Just calm your ass down. He's like, no. You don't know. Devlin is a factory of evil. He just produces. He's made up entirely of evil. You got to get rid of the body or he's going to come back and haunt you. I know it. And he's like, just calm your ass down. Clearly you're suffering from post-traumatic stress or something, so just calm down. We find out that our drunk bachelor hoarder guy is actually they call him doctor, but I think that's supposed to mean like psychiatrist or something, like he was a profiler that was helping apprehend or something. He had
I thought it was maybe like a criminal psychologist
something
or something
like that.
Yeah.
If, they had those in Mexico in 1985.
He did not like to button his shirt up very high.
That is Mexican Don Johnson right there. The way.
Juan Johnson.
Juan Johnson. Unbuttoned down to the navel. Plenty of chest hair going on. Had the shaggy do-rag. I love it. Anyways, like, no, I got to get rid of him. Now we're going to cut to a completely different storyline involving some medical students. We got 3 medical students. They're in med school, and they have got this big idea for a party they're going to throw because they have stumbled upon an abandoned mansion. And they're like, we get some chicks over there. We get a couple of Zimas in them. We're going to get our dick sucked for sure. Chicks don't want to go to an abandoned mansion. And if they do, they're not the kind of chick that is going to suck your dick.
These guys put together the worst pickup ploy ever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Are you kidding? It worked like a charm. You get them to the lake, you water ski past them, and you hose them down. After that, they have no choice but to go to the party.
That's an instant wet t-shirt contest.
That's what it is.
These guys are tools from the jump, man.
They are complete shitbirds. I don't remember their names, and it doesn't really fucking matter. So for the purposes of this podcast, we're going to refer to them as Mullet, Beard Guy, and Ascot. That's the only way I could tell them apart.
Okay.
Their chicks are Horseface, Blonde, and Prude. Because that's pretty much all that matters. And
that'll work.
This is our body count gang. They're not going to be around for too long, so let's not get too worried about them. Regardless, they convince the young ladies that they have a jet set party at this palatial estate. And the ladies are actually, they're like, no, we're going to a rock concert tonight. We're not fucking around with you guys. It's Halloween night, by the way. So they're like, no. We have a jet set party, ladies. The creme de la creme of this Mexican town are going to be there. You're going to want to be there at the jet set party. Where's it at? It's at a palatial estate. Okay, we're in, I guess. You water skied past us and hosed us down. Now we have to say yes. So that's well and good. Now we're going to cut back to Halloween afternoon.
Boy, Halloween stinks in Mexico.
Well,
it looks terrible. I can see why they're trying to come over.
It's all about Halloween.
It's all about Halloween.
The one thing I did like about Mexican Halloween is apparently you bring the pumpkins with you. You make them into like lanterns.
Like a lantern.
And you bring them with you.
No cool costume, though.
How 14 kids a year aren't being set on fire with these things, I have no idea. Because let's face it, at some point they're going to fashion them into ninja weapons
of course.
And bash each other and probably, with the amount of hair teasing going on in this movie. movie. I'm sure they were going up like candles.
A lot of product.
Absolutely. But anyway, we have El Capitan's son, a guy by the name of Tony. He's getting ready to go trick-or-treating. He's got his pumpkin lantern, fucking Morningstar mace situation all ready to go. That was for you, D&D boy.
Thanks.
All ready to go, and his older sister is there watching him, and she's like, hey, you get your fucking ass back here by 10 or I'm going to be pissed. And he's like, yeah, okay. So he hauls ass with his cronies, one of which had the sweetest Michael Jackson jacket. Did you catch that?
Oh, it was dope.
Oh, that was nice. Little white windbreaker with probably
like an airbrushed.
I was going to
Jackson.
say it looked like he might have drawn it on himself, but he had a nice mural of Michael Jackson.
He probably got tagged by a rogue gang.
We'll show this little fucker. We'll draw the king of pop on his back. He'll get his ass kicked all the time.
That'll learn you.
Anyway, they're out. They're getting ready to go trick-or-treating. That's all well and good. Now we're going to cut back to our party night with our med students and their unfortunate young ladies that they convinced to go with them. They get to the mansion. It's, of course, abandoned. Mm-hmm. It's not quite Hull House abandoned, but it's definitely... It looks like somebody may have lived there within a year or two, but didn't let it go. Because it's got like the haphazard cobwebs around. A lot of like broken up furniture and stuff like that, but not too bad. It's not Evil Dead bad, but it's still pretty bad. They get in there. Of course, the chicks are like, ew. What? No, this isn't a jet set party. We're the only ones here.
Shut up, horseface.
Come on. They're like, no. And then they start exploring this mansion, which is actually a pretty big house. Mm-hmm. They get up to one of the upstairs bedrooms, and they find, again, what can only possibly refer to as El Necronomico.
Yeah.
It's basically, but if you looked at the cover of it, it said
Devlin
right on the cover. Mm-hmm. So was that like his 8th grade math book where he had to cover it and write his name on it? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, right.
I think it was the Devil and Max Devlin.
There it is.
Max Devlin.
Bill Cosby.
That's right.
If Bill Cosby showed up at this mansion, those chicks would have been fucked in more ways than one.
Right? Yeah. You won't remember it.
That's right. Come on, I'm Dr. Huxtable. You can trust me.
Want to see my pudding pop?
Let me stick my finger in your pudding.
Oh, that was terrible. That was in poor taste, Jason.
Thanks.
So, anyway, they're like, no, gross. But they bring the book down and they start reading it. And, of course, they happen upon a incantation to the devil, which will grant them the power to resurrect the dead. And they're like, oh, okay, this is fucking stupid. But the guys have like a little sidebar, and they're like, dudes, this is how we are going to get our penises played with tonight. We are going to scare these chicks, and they will have no choice but to feverishly stroke us off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my go-to response.
This sounds legit.
It makes perfect sense. Hey, honey. Boom!
Oh, yeah.
Suck me off.
Oh, shit. Why are you hitting me? What? Stop. So they hatch this half-ass ingenious scheme where they're going to go to the morgue. They're going to steal a random dead body. They're going to bring it to the cemetery, and then they will have their satanic rite, which will resurrect the dead guy, and that's going to give them some power. So that's great. So they do just that. They go to the morgue. Now, while that's going on, the doctor has driven the captain into a full-on frenzy about the already dead serial killer. Mm-hmm. And they're now driving to the morgue because they have a court order for an immediate cremation of Devlin's body. So this part is pretty stupid because they get to the morgue just as the kids are breaking into the morgue. The 2 morgue security guards are sound asleep watching TV. As the kids are breaking in, they're trying to wake up the captain and Tennille, or captain and the doctor are trying to wake up the security guards. Kids get the body. Captain and the guards go back there to get the body as the kids are leaving with the body, and they just missed the dead body of dead. Naturally, they accidentally grabbed the body of the long dead serial killer with the razor sharp talons.
Man, what a coinkydink.
I know. Mm-hmm. Talk about a shitty run of luck.
Yeah.
Whatever. They could have got somebody's grandma or something instead. Ended up with a dead serial killer. They steal the body. They get the body out of there. They take it to the cemetery. The captain and the doctor are like, "Oh fuck! What if the body got stolen?" So now they're in full-on panic mode. The doctor is. The captain's like, "Okay, it's just some kids. It's Halloween. It's gonna be fine. We'll find him in a few hours." No, you don't understand. He's made of evil. He's gonna raise up and he's gonna start killing people. Now we're gonna cut back to our trick-or-treaters. There's about 4 or 5 of them now, and they're led by the captain's son Tony. And he gets the ingenious idea. It's Halloween. We've got our pumpkin lantern sensors, so let's go to the cemetery and fuck around. Mm-hmm. Solid plan for a Halloween night, sure. So apparently Mexico in 1985 was much safer than it is today. Because these kids just flagged down a dude in a station wagon, and he's like, "Hey, take us to the cemetery." "Sure. Yeah, come on in here. I'll take you to the cemetery, no problem."
"Where are you going?" "Cemetery." "Oh, okay.
Got
sure.
it. I was headed that way myself. And that's just what happens. This random passerby takes him to the cemetery, drops him off. But before that, we're going to cut back to our med students who are in the cemetery, and now it is time to raise the dead, gentlemen. We get this big, long soliloquy in Latin, which didn't have subtitles. We have to assume it means something. Here comes another Mexican freak thunderstorm, complete with fucking rain and thunder and lightning, and the chicks are freaking out. And you
didn't have subtitles for them reading?
Not the Latin.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did it say? Anything fun?
Well, no. It was. it was like here on the 6th month of the 6th day,
and it's also the 6th hour.
Yeah,
I do remember
like, man,
that part.
they timed this shit really good.
They nailed it, buddy. Either that, or you can lowball the devil.
Lord of Hell, a bunch of Lord of Hell stuff.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
well,
nothing fun.
Anyway, they convince
nothing good. That's for sure.
Well, damn it. And if you could throw in $500 for gas money and rent, that would be great. The rain and the thunder starts, and the chicks are freaking out now because they're all talking about sacrilege and this is blasphemy and let's just go home. It's raining, you fucker. See, now this is where their ingenious scheme worked, because now the chicks are like, "Let's go back to the mansion. We'll suck you off." So you got to go the extra step, boys. You got to actually steal the dead body. That's when the chicks know you mean business. Right? You can't just talk about it and then pull your penis out, because that's not going to work. Anyway, they get back to the mansion, and now it's a full-on makeout session. But before they do, as they're doing their big, seance, satanic rite, Mullet sees, like, the hands on the body start to move a little bit. He's like, "Hey, the hands are moving." They're like, "Oh, get out of here. It's too windy." So they jump back in the car and go hauling ass back to the mansion. Now, immediately, boom, the big rainstorm stops. And we cut to our kids who are just making their way into the cemetery. Mm-hmm. Apparently, this cemetery is like 3 miles by 3 miles. So you can just go in there and just get lost. And I guess they're trying to find the center of the cemetery, because that means something. Good for them. About this time, we're going to cut to Tony's big sister, who's at home, continuing to fuck up the popcorn. And she calls El Capitan, because it's like 10:05, and Tony's not back yet. "Oh, Capitan, Tony's not back yet. I'm starting to really get nervous." This sends the entire neighborhood into an uproar on Halloween night because their kids are not back yet. We have all the parents organizing search parties, and where are they, and what time is it, and where could they possibly have gone. And El Capitan gets brought into the whole situation, and he's like, "I've got my officers working on it. We're going to get to the bottom of this." Now we're going to cut back to the cemetery where the kids are wandering around seemingly aimlessly. Only thing I can tell you is that they happen upon one particular tombstone / sarcophagus, which just completely bursts into flames when they approach.
Yeah.
That sends them screaming and running off into the night. No explanation as to why that particular tombstone or what the fuck happened there. Maybe it was a gas main or something. But kaboom! Oh, shit, let's get the fuck out of here. Which, to be honest, I would do the same fucking thing, too. I don't know anything about that. Gotta go.
Yeah.
So now we're going to cut back to our Halloween party at the abandoned mansion with our med students. Now, the chicks are ready for action. And we have several makeout sessions going on. We're going to start off out at the porch where we have Beard and slightly less horny brunette going at it. They're on like one of those swing bench situations. The horny brunette sends Beardy in to get another drink, and then she hears something out in the woods. Now we're going to start cutting to killer cam, where we get the Halloween Michael Myers camera, like with the two eyeballs floating around the woods. She goes out there in the woods to investigate a noise, and we get our taloned killer just swiping at her. And
clawing people to death.
Clawing her neck right open. And she goes down. Beardy comes out with a drink, and he's like, "Hey, I'm ready for you, sweet pants. Where'd you go? Oh, you want to play games out in the woods? Here I come. I got a hard dick." And then he goes out there, and of course he gets ripped to shreds also. Unfortunately, Horseface hears all the screaming involved with the ripping up of the kids out in the woods. So she's like, "What was that? What was that?" Ascot is like, no, these guys are fucking around. Come back here. Let's get my pants open. She's like, nah, check it out. So she goes out there, finds the dead bodies, of course, gets herself all ripped open. Ascot's really horny, so he's chasing her out in the woods, thinking he's going to get a piece in the woods. He sees the killer and then goes running back inside. Oddly enough, does not choose to alert Mullet or Blonde upstairs, who are now knuckle deep in each other. Gets himself like choke slammed onto a
like a
sconce, maybe, or
I couldn't tell.
Some kind of like a wall fixture,
something that holds coats, maybe.
Sure, but it was like 9 feet off the ground.
It was very high.
You know, you want to get your coat up there so that the dust doesn't settle.
Yep. Pinata hook.
That's what it was. That's what it definitely was. Fucking kids, man. You put it too low, they'll just bash the shit out of it. You got to keep it up there so you can raise it up. Gets himself like neck impaled on the pinata hook. Now the killer is stalking up the stairs towards Blondie and Mullet. Mullet may be a closeted homosexual, but again we have this situation where he is about to achieve coitus and decides, no, I've got to go outside and get some air. So he does just that. He goes outside. Blondie is still upstairs looking at him, making fun of him because he probably has a limp dick. She's like, "Hey, you fucking clown."
Mocking him relentlessly.
As she should. You know what I mean? If a young lady is ready for action and all of a sudden I get wet feet, no.
Yeah, he had to tinkle.
Maybe he just is now questioning his alcohol.
He's out there slapping
intake.
his dick around.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
We get hard. Come on. Think about Jeff.
Worthless thing. Oh, God.
Oh, no. While he's out there playing with himself, he looks up at the window where Blondie is yelling and screaming at him, and he sees the killer approach from behind. He's like, "Who's that behind you?" She turns around and immediately gets clawed in the face. He goes running inside to help her, and this is where the entire movie shifts gears all of a sudden, fellas. Because we were in Slasherville, now all of a sudden we're going to Amityville. Because this house just became haunted all of a sudden. He runs
very
up,
slow haunting.
Yeah.
Very well.
Like the effects are so slow.
It's pretty silly, and a lot of it. They're on a budget here, Jason. He goes running up there to help her. All the cabinets and the windows start opening and closing and slamming. He grabs like a decorative battle axe off of one of the wall fucking things. Goes running up there like, "I'm going to kill you and possibly still have sex with that chick." But the axe just kind of jerks out of his hand, levitates, and then comes back at him. So he grabs it, and then he basically slams the axe into his own forehead. Yeah, and then goes down. Okay, so apparently this house is also haunted. Fair enough. All right, not a problem. We have a slasher.
I assume the slasher had
demonic powers?
Telekinesis or some kind of supernatural powers.
Okay. That makes more sense than the haunted. Well, I guess the house could be haunted. I don't know.
Sure.
Why not? So now we're going to cut to our kids who are terrified of the exploding coffins. Apparently this cemetery is riddled with landmines all of a sudden. They're running around trying to find a way out of the cemetery. They happen upon our house, our Halloween party / haunted house. They go running inside. They take the full tour of all the dead bodies. Very scary stuff. They find, although Oddly enough, they seem to walk right past the guy that was impaled on the piñata hook like 5 or 6 times. Nobody says a word about him.
Nope.
Apparently, that guy's kind of insignificant. But they go upstairs, they find the dead Blondie and then the guy with his own axe in his head. Very scary. Here comes the killer, stalking up toward the stairs towards them. They freak right out. They try to go into this room. They try to go into that room. Everywhere they go, they find another dead body. I should also mention that Horseface got disemboweled when she tried to hide in the closet. Very scary stuff. Now, our police/parents search party is like tearing up the town trying to find him. Our doctor has stolen the squad car of El Capitan.
Captain cared nothing.
No, he didn't give a shit.
Not a single care.
No, well, he trusts the doctor, I guess. I don't know. He's pissed enough to call somebody on a payphone and tell him to come pick him up. I guess he has to now. He doesn't have a car. The doctor has gone rogue, and he's like, I'm going to get to this. I got to find that black book. What was it, the Black Bible or something like that?
Something.
The Devlin book. He's like, I got to get to that book. I got to set it on fire. It's the only way to stop the evil for sure. So I don't know if nobody knew where Devlin's base of operation was here in this decrepit old mansion, but you would think that when they would have at least given it a once-over when they initially killed him, right? At least go poke around in there, see what you can find. Anyway, he's like, I get over there and burn up that book. Now we're going to cut to a good 20 minutes of cat and mouse bullshit with all the kids running around the house and Devlin chasing them around. Eventually, they make it out of the house and they make it back out into the cemetery. And this is where we're going to dump it into third gear, which is now zombie apocalypse time. Fellas, we went from slasher to haunted house right into zombie apocalypse.
Full-blown zombie attack.
All the dead guys in the cemetery get up and start moseying after the kids.
I felt like I was watching a Thriller video there for a second.
Yeah. All we need is a werewolf. We're one werewolf away and some choreography away from being in a Michael Jackson. We already have Michael Jackson. He's on the kid's jacket. Yeah. He's there. Now the kids are being chased around by zombies. The one little kid has zero cardio, which was odd because he was like the skinniest one. Yeah, you would think he would just take off, but he keeps falling down. Oh, Dios mío. Oh. And then here comes the zombies, and eventually they make it to the gate of the cemetery. They're like, oh, good, we just got to get through this gate. As the doctor is pulling up to the gate, they're like, okay, we'll just hop over the gate. The gate comes out of the ground like 25 feet in the air.
That was weird.
Holy shit. What the fuck kind of gate is this? The doctor's like, get away from the gate. And then he rams into the gate and punches into the cemetery. All the zombies are surrounding him and the kids. You would think this would be a golden opportunity for them to just flee the cemetery.
Yeah.
Instead, they kind of gather around in this loose circle as the zombies are enclosing on them. A tree, because now we're also going to go into Evil Dead land.
Right.
A tree collapses, not only collapses, but kind of lunges at the doctor and then pins him underneath it. And this is where we find out that the zombies will stay away from you if you have a crucifix.
Yeah. Luckily, he has one that's 3 feet tall.
Well,
yeah,
in his pocket.
Yeah, he pulls that out and he gives it to one of the girls. He's like, just show them that and they'll fuck off. So she's running around showing all the zombies the crucifix, and they're all like, hey. So this part I've got a little chuckle out of. The crucifix will keep the zombies away from you, right? Eventually, the doctor makes his way out from underneath the tree. He's like, we got to get back to the house to find the black book, and we got to put it on fire, and then all this shit will be over with. Zombies will leave you alone if you have a crucifix. The doctor is literally using a giant crucifix as a crutch, like a grave marker. Zombies don't give a shit about that particular crucifix. No. It's only the one that he had in his pocket.
They're offended by the other one.
That's the only one that works. Yeah. I don't know. The other one's like, it's too big and it's not ornate enough. I don't know. We can get them anyway, I guess. Anyway, they all hobble back to the house to get to the black book and hopefully put it on fire. They make it there. Zombies are closing in. We've got kind of a Night of the Living Dead scenario where they're trying to break through the doors. Where's the book? I don't know. It's upstairs. Let's go find it. Devlin the killer is still inside. Big fist fight between the doctor and Devlin the killer. Devlin rips the shit out of the doctor and throws him into 4 different rooms and continues to kick the shit out of him. The middle adolescent girl finds the book, and she's like, I'm going to put this thing on the fire. But then she, like, Devlin sees her going for the fire, so he, like, hoverboards her over to him, and then she, like, just kind of goes catatonic for a second, but then the doctor comes back and, like, tries to do, like, some karate kicks on Devlin, which distracts him long enough for her to put the book on the fire, which she does, and then Devlin bursts into flames, and then all the zombies kind of collapse, and then the kids are all freaking out, and you see all the cop cars coming into the cemetery. And then the next morning, after the kids have all been escorted out, the doctor gets back up and starts, like, flipping through the charred remains of the Black Book, and then he smiles at the camera as if to say, I am now possessed by Devlin the Killer. Mm-hmm. Juan Johnson / Devlin the Killer, ready to kill some more dudes and wreak havoc on some kids wearing Michael Jackson windbreakers.
That covers it.
That's pretty much your movie right there, boys. What did you think of Cemetery of Terror?
It's all right.
I liked it fine. I liked the previous, what was it?
Grave Robbers.
Grave Robbers. I like that a little more.
Yeah.
This one was just so all over the place, but at the same time, I kind of appreciated it.
Sure.
It kept you watching.
It also surprised me. I honestly didn't expect all of the med kids, the grown-up kids,
to get killed. Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to, like, bleed into, like, a Goonies.
Kind of. Yeah, just
Goonies meets zombies.
Bloodier with actual, like, dead people.
Yeah.
I dug it just fine. I thought, looking at the premise and where the movie started, I thought, okay, this is going to be Mexican Night of the Demons. And it was for, like, a good... 40 minutes. And then after that, it
covered a lot of territory.
It kicked into high gear and took us on a tour of all kinds of horror shit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why we can't have boobs, though. You know? That's all I needed to complete this formula. None.
Sorry.
Sad. Very sad. I say it's worth checking out if you haven't seen it already, inmates. And you don't mind subtitles.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's something you really got to buckle into, though. It's streaming right now on Shudder if anybody gives a shit. So is Grave Robbers. Yeah, dude. All over the place. I say we take us a little break, gentlemen. Come back with some other stuff.
Let's go.
No matter which way you go, no matter which way you stay, you're out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind. I was walking with the ghost, I
Hey, inmates. If you like what you hear, head over to the Padded Room Facebook group and support us through the Patreon link with a small monthly donation. Check out the T-Villain link at paddedroom.podbean.com and grab some t-shirts. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the show.
And we are back, gentlemen. Oh, good Lord. I'm rather fond of cemeteries myself.
Yeah.
They're peaceful, they're quiet. I have no interest in going there at night. And it's not necessarily because I'm scared or anything. It's just because, why would you want... I imagine if I did, I would just be constantly walking into tombstones and getting hit in the nuts, you know? If I did, like for some kind of a ghost hunt thing, I would fully expect to have sex with a young lady there. That seems to be a turn-on for chicks.
I've been to a lot of cemeteries at night.
Yeah?
Yeah, especially when I first got my license. Just a bunch of us friends just goofing around.
Hanging around?
Yeah.
Anything weird ever happen?
No.
No,
but
zombies?
it was fun. It was just like one of the things to do. Hey, let's go to the cemetery. We'd like walk around the cemetery. I don't know. I think it was like one of those things where, you know, like in horror movies, and then like, hey, let's just check it out.
Okay.
And did it quite a few times.
No
different cemeteries.
Exploding coffins, nothing. Oh, man.
Nothing exciting.
Well, there goes the allure of that. Did you ever get your dick sucked in a cemetery?
No.
Well, now you're just wasting time. That's what you're doing. Ah, shit, man. Well, right on, inmates. We have a meat hook to get into here, my friends. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it on.
Three on a meat hook.
This week's meat hook: horror party movies. Movies containing some kind of a party that goes awry, as they usually do. Jason, why don't you start it off with number 3?
Dinner party. You're next.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess that's... I always thought of that as more of a family reunion, but you're right. It is a dinner party.
Mm-hmm.
You generally just give us a snippet of the meat hook.
I do.
With not a lot of explanation.
No, because I like to see where you go with it.
So we kind of just come up with our own thing.
Sure, I'm down with that. I want to see how you branch out on that. Expand on it.
So that's what I got.
You're next. Yeah, I mean, that's bad. That's a bad party. It's not a party that... it's a cunty party to start with because that family hates each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I get it. You got to go because mom and dad invited you, but you fucking hate everybody's wife, and everybody's wife hates you, and fucking. I think if I were invited to that party and I sat down for dinner, I would be hoping for an arrow through the head. Or a weird razor
That's
wire.
why I walked over to the window.
Totally.
I said, man, if I could just get an arrow to...
Kill me now before I have to listen to these fucking assholes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy, how about number 3, big dog?
Borderline horror movie, but it's the Deo scene when Beetlejuice. Deo! And they're all down there.
Okay.
On a little dinner party.
Yeah, that's fun. That's more fun.
Yeah. Then the hands come out of the stuff.
Yeah. Like, if I was that part I never understood. If I'm a ghost and I'm trying to scare you out of my house...
Why make it fun?
Lip syncing is not the way that I'm going to go with it. You know what I mean? I'm going to, throw a chair at you.
Mm-hmm.
Threaten some violence.
Have, like, tentacles come out and, like, slam their head against the table or something.
It gets into that later in the movie. But, yeah, break some bones or something. Singing and dancing. Get the fuck out of here. My number 3, Night of the Demons.
Oh.
Eat a bowl of fuck. I get it. You want to get laid. You desperately want to go. There was like a horror movie trope where like the dingier, disgusting, more bedbug-ridden, hair lice having the place was, it somehow upped the likelihood of you getting laid in it.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that. I don't want to pull my pants down in that place. You know what I'm saying? Especially...
But you would.
Well, I would. I mean, if prompted by the right young lady. But the hot Asian chick who actually gets down in the coffin, I get it. There's like a novelty to it. Oh, we did it in a coffin. Sure. But still, in this place, with like the smells. It's a crematorium, man. I don't know. I know I'm digging too deep on this one, but my number 3 is Night of the Demons. How about number 2, Jay?
That is a good party. Return of the Living Dead.
That's also my number 2.
Graveyard Party.
I don't think it was meant to be a party, but it turned into one.
Yeah.
But that's
when they're singing a song called "Do You Want a Party?" I mean,
right. Well, when there's now table dancing happening, the party has officially begun.
It has,
and we've all been invited. Yeah, that's a good one. I always thought that there was like a weird conflict. Like I always thought a bunch of punk rock kids would somehow be able to beat up the zombies. It was not the case.
No.
Not even the black one, really. He got taken down just as hard as everybody else. He lasted to the end credits, but still. Yeah, man. How about number 2 there, buddy?
Smile, the birthday scene with the cat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was rough, man. That was a rough fucking scene.
Was fucked up.
I felt bad for her. Anytime there's any kind of like social embarrassment or awkwardness, you're like, oh, God.
I was really trying to come up with a birthday party answer, and man, I'm surprised I didn't remember that one. That one really sticks out.
It's a fairly lackluster movie outside of that.
Yeah, that's a good scene, though.
It is. And you can't help but feel bad for that chick because, you know, she's already...
And the cat.
Coming, the cat. Fuck that cat. She's already coming apart at the seams, and then she's trying to do right by her sister by going to the niece's birthday party, and here's a fucking cat. What the fuck is wrong with you? I get it. Right on. How about number 1, Jason?
My number 1, April Fool's Day.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
People don't really have a
Murder Mystery Party.
Well, yeah.
And April Fool's Day party.
Who has an April Fool's Day party?
Apparently
somebody
nothing.
that is desperate to throw a party and does not have another holiday anywhere in sight. I get it. That's a great show.
Love that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. How about number 1, buddy?
One of the best opening scenes, Ghost Ship.
Nice.
Okay.
That wire that just... Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rest of the movie kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? I mean...
When you started off like that, you got high expectations.
Damn good opener.
Yeah, I don't think I could tell you another thing about the rest of that fucking movie, except for that hot ghost naked lounge burlesque singer.
Boy, that was descriptive.
I mean, that's pretty much on the nose, and the rest of them wasn't that great. My number 1, the original Evil Dead.
Oh,
again, funky, disgusting. No chick that I know is going to in any way disrobe in that dilapidated ass shack. But for some reason in 1981, it was an aphrodisiac.
It's the thing to do.
To get girls out there. Apparently, you couldn't take them home or to your dorm room or to a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
You had to take them out in the middle of fucking nowhere where there's no chance of escape or any kind of police interaction. Get them out there with the termites and the cockroaches and the weevils. I'm sure they had weevils. Not sure what a weevil is, but it was out there.
Maybe they were thinking that if she wasn't going to put out, middle of the woods. Maybe,
get out there.
Well, either that or maybe Ash was a rapist.
Well, if they had gone another day or two without reading the book, things could have got even weirder. Right on. That is our meat hook for the weekend, mates. It is horror party movies that somehow contain a party scene. Qualify that any way you want. Dinner party, birthday party, coming out party, if that's a thing. Some kind of a weird nightclub situation. You tell us what your horror movie party is.
Orgies.
Oh, Society. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That's a silly fucking movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put it on there anyway, but goddamn that party scene. Have you seen Society, Jason?
I don't recall.
You don't want
it. It's so gross.
So, you know what?
Is that where the orgy turns into one big blob of flesh?
Melt?
Yeah.
You know what makes it even grosser? I think
that you came to it.
I did many times. There is a boob somewhere in there.
One up here, one way over here.
So if you like, I saw this on Joe Bob, but they refer to that big orgy party flesh melt thing as a shunting.
Oh,
which kind of makes it grosser in a way. Because what the fuck is a shunting? other than that, clearly.
Stick it in her shunt.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, goodness.
Let me give you Sarah's rundown.
Oh, yeah, please do.
Number 3, April Fool's Day.
Of course.
'cause she's got good taste.
Yeah.
Number 2, The Collection. The opening,
yeah.
club party
The
scene.
Thresher Blade.
Mm-hmm. And her number 1, also Ghost Ship.
Very nice.
For that
Very
opening
nice.
scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of gives it a little extra cred because it was like a formal high society function dinner party before the bisection occurred. Right on, inmates. Let us know what your top 3 horror party movies are. Mail at paddedroompodcast.com is you can do it that way, or the regular old email or voicemail. Area code 775-387-0275 is the mental health hotline. Or you can just go to paddedroompodcast.com. Check out all the fucking links there. You got your 3 on a meat hook. You got your immersion therapy. You got a whole Terradome bracket to look at. You can select your fighter now. That's how we're going to roll this for the next 9 months. Usually is how long it takes us to get through these fucking things. Check the whole thing out. And then if you want, you hit the contact tab. That'll bring up the email. It'll send it right to us. And if you want to Photoshop me onto some weird Asian porn thing, you're going to have to get in line behind Tony because he's gotten pretty good at it. And you've got a lot of living up to do if you're going to go that route.
Yes, indeed.
Right on, dudes. In the meantime, why don't we get into some what are you looking at, you motherfuckers?
What are you looking at?
So I've been on a mission here, fellas.
Yeah.
And I need some help. Jay, I talked to you about this a little bit last week after the show, but so my usual bedtime routine is I will just throw a random horror movie on Tubi, because Tubi rolls from one movie to the next, but it'll find
Shudder does that too.
It does, but on those
weird channels.
Yeah, but it's got like a 3-movie rotation, and then it just goes right back to the first one.
Oh, I didn't know
But
that.
Tubi will just keep going.
Okay.
But I'll fall asleep usually during the first movie, and then I'll wake up to get ready for work, and there'll be something completely different on, and it's pretty cool. But I woke up in the middle of the night the other night, and there was a horror anthology movie on. I don't know what it was. I stayed awake for one segment before I fell back asleep, and I've been trying to track this movie down. So the segment involved a guy, some kind of a killer, had murdered a lady, and he had propped her body up at a dinner table, and he was having dinner with the dead lady. And he was eating, and he was like having a conversation with this corpse. And every time he looked away, the corpse would move a little bit. So the lady is like, she's dead, she's sitting there. And then he's like, I'm trying to have a serious relationship with you. And then he eats, and then he looks up again, and now the corpse is holding the knife. And he's like, oh, really? You're going to be that way now? Well, if you're going to be hostile, then I don't even know if I want to talk to you anymore. And he starts eating, and then he looks up again, and now the corpse is standing up. And then he starts eating again, and now the corpse is getting closer and closer with this knife. But the look of this corpse was really, fucked up. It wasn't like a zombie-style corpse. It looked like he had literally just killed her. So she was eyes half open and blood coming out and stuff like that. I'm trying to track this movie down because it was a genuinely halfway disturbing, or it may have just been because I was half awake, but that segment was pretty badass.
Wow.
And I would love to see it again. I don't know what the fuck it
You're
was.
just going to have to watch everything on Tubi.
That's
Which brings me to what I'm looking at this week.
Because you've been going through.
So,
any recognizable actors or anything?
No, it was fairly low budget, and I have no idea what it was. I fell back asleep.
Date range-ish?
It looked fairly recent, probably within the 2010s.
Okay.
Maybe. I have no idea. But in order to try to track this down, I've been watching horror anthologies on Tubi, starting with A Night of Horror from 2019. This one's not bad. It's set up at the premise of this late-night radio show host, and people are calling in with their scary stories, and he's walking, we're seeing them as vignettes in this horror anthology. Not bad. There's some decent ones there. Dark Tales from 2020. This one's low budget as shit, and basically all they did was take popular urban myths and try to characterize them. I knew I was in trouble when the first one was the big clown doll. You guys know what I'm talking about? Babysitter comes over and she's like, "Oh, there's a creepy big life-size clown doll in this room." And it's just, something there. She starts freaking out, so she calls the parents that are like out at dinner, and they're like, "Hey, what's up with that clown? We don't own a clown doll." And then by the time they get there, she's dead, and now she's painted up like the clown doll.
Wow.
1,000 times. In a Stranger's House. This one's not an anthology. It's a found footage situation where guy is basically house sitting and a bunch of paranormal. It's found footage. It's cheap as shit. I just happened to roll into it right after Dark Tales. It's, you can only get away with so much shaky cam and visual distortions to cover up your lack of special effects, but other than that, it's fine. That's all I'm looking at, Jason. What do you got?
Well, you've only got 400 other movies on Tubi to get.
I'm going to find it, you sons of bitches. And if anybody knows what that movie is, please let me know.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
I checked out The Deep House. It's about basically a haunted house underwater.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Was a good one.
It's not great.
I was not mad at it.
There was something, the premise, for some reason, there was just something about this guy at work was telling me about it being a haunted house underwater.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that sounded compelling to me, but I was sold like right away for some reason.
Yeah.
Haunted house underwater. That's all I needed to hear.
Sure.
It wasn't bad.
No.
It just wasn't great.
You know what killed it for me?
It was about, I gave it like a 5.
The actress. Every time she talked, she sounded like she was having an orgasm to me. And I get it. You're underwater and you're kind of like, struggling for breath. But like even before that, oh, you're so funny. Oh, you're giving me a hard time. Oh.
There goes my erection.
Hey.
We watched Critters 2.
Lovely. Leonardo DiCaprio in that one, right?
Not that one.
Which one was he in?
This was a return of Scott Grimes again.
Okay. He's in one. He's like
I think he might be in 3.
8-year-old. Give or take.
Yeah, maybe part 3.
Yeah.
We're working our way through them.
Oh, lovely.
I know what you did last summer.
Okay. Does it hold up, you think?
Yeah, it was fine.
Sure.
It was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If anybody likes Scream, you like this movie. You just have to. They're very similar in tone.
Yeah. Pretty much, exactly.
I liked it better than Scream.
I would put it... I would give just a little edge to the original Scream. Just a little bit.
I think I know what you did last summer. For the simple fact of the Pacific Northwest atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I think that plays into...
It was in North Carolina.
Was it really?
Yes.
It felt like very Pacific Northwest, though, right? Like with the...
Yeah, it did. It had a very,
Oregon coast kind of vibe.
Oregon or Maine, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was like Wilmington, North Carolina, I believe.
Wow, okay.
So, unless they were trying to pull something else off.
You never know.
Deadware.
Oh,
Watch this. I think this was Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's recommendation?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
This is not a good movie.
Really? He seemed to enjoy it.
Sarah really liked it.
Okay.
I guess probably being a computer dork.
Oh, no.
It just, come on. I'm like, that frame rate didn't exist in 1997.
No wonder you didn't like it.
The DOS manuscript for that particular... Oh, no.
No, there was something about the pacing. Okay. The ending was a little lackluster.
All right.
Let's see. Influencer. This is on Shudder right now.
Just popped up, yeah. Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Gave it a 6.
Right on.
Yeah, I won't say any more because, spoilers.
Oh, okay.
I was curious about that one.
It's solid pretty much from start to finish.
Good.
Cool.
And Boogeyman 2.
Okay.
I gave this a 5. I got this free from Sony after registering some other codes. And I don't know if I've ever seen 1. And apparently there's a 3 also.
There is.
Oh, my.
It wasn't bad. I mean, it's fine.
I've only seen the first one.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the one where the serial killer kills the kid's parents at the beginning. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then she and her brother, I think, both go into kind of a mental ward, but the brother leaves on his own accord. She stays in, but then the boogeyman goes and starts just picking people off.
So, this has nothing to do with the first one at all.
Oh, no?
First one is like a whole supernatural situation.
Oh, okay.
So it's that... I wouldn't even call it a franchise.
Well, I assumed that this was supernatural at first.
Yeah.
And then ultimately once you find out everything, it's like, well, there's no supernatural element to this at all.
Yeah, no. The first one is more of a dark entity kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Is there any tie-in?
I don't think so. Now that you mention it.
So the characters and the backstory of the characters in part 2 was not the story of part 1?
No.
Oh, well, I'll
Nope,
be damned.
completely different guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
There was an actual boogeyman in part 1.
Yes,
then.
and he lived in closets, if I remember right.
Okay.
And there's this whole thing where the main character grows a pair and tries to chase him into the closet, but then he comes out in like a hotel room somewhere.
Oh, wow.
It's a whole ass thing.
Okay.
I remember not being all that mad at the first one and being hopeful for the second one. And then being like, what the shit is this?
Well, I wasn't let down because I hadn't seen part 1.
Okay, well, I got it
All
if
right.
you want to check it out. Third one I never even bothered with, but I assume it has nothing to do with anything either.
Who knows? That's all I got.
Right on.
Maybe they're just boogeyman stories instead of like a tie-in.
Well, then they should say something so that we know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, Boogeyman, here's a story about a pizza delivery guy.
Or a guy that dances a lot.
Some kind of a dance club
He's
situation.
the boogeyman.
Here's a guy with a lot of snot. No.
That's Boogerman.
Buddy, what do you got, big fella?
Nothing this time.
All righty. How about some immersion therapy then, huh?
Yeah.
Immersion therapy.
Bloody muscle bodybuilder in hell, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh, daddy.
I love the title. It just cracked
It doesn't
me up.
make a lick of sense.
No.
I mean, was he really that shredded? For 1985.
Yeah, he had good cardio.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're not like in Arnold Schwarzenegger territory here at
No.
all. And aside from the opening
more like a
sequence
Bruce Lee.
of him doing bicep curls for 13 seconds,
I made it to the halfway mark.
it's only an hour long, Jason.
Yeah.
Come on, Jason.
So it wasn't
So
even.
you didn't see him flex.
It wasn't even that I was mad at the movie. It's that I'm coming off the heels of watching a whole month of fucking subtitles, and I had very few hours of today to do anything or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I fire it up, and I get to about, I'm fast forwarding my way to the halfway mark, and I literally said, and nobody else was home but me, out loud, I said, I'm not fucking watching this. I just remember hitting this level of frustration from reading, and I'm like, I'm not fucking watching this.
Oh my goodness.
I will say that I probably wouldn't be resentful towards it because it seems kind of in line with Evil Dead 1, which I'm not resentful of Evil Dead 1. I'm more resentful of Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
The comedy.
I'm going to tell you, I think you would be... I mean, I can't say for sure because, again, it's Japanese and I feel like there's quite a bit lost in translation. But this, to me, felt very much comedy to me.
Oh, yeah, the whole foot thing. Whack, whack, whack.
The severed head that attaches itself to the hand and is now running around like a freaking spider.
Oh, see, I didn't see that.
Oh, my God.
I only got to just where they're like, I guess it was the guy's buddy.
Yeah.
And they're like stabbing at him, and then the
psychic.
and then the muscle guy gets stabbed.
Yeah.
So up to that point, there was like, okay, they're attempting practical effects.
Yeah.
There was like the chain that left his mouth and then went into his eye.
Of course.
And I'm like, okay, well, they're at least going for something like Part 1 did.
Yeah.
Like Evil Dead 1 did. But it was at that point, I'm like, I'm not fucking watching this. And then I went and watched Influencer. So.
Okay.
And I was happy with that choice.
Very well done, sir.
I say finish watching it, but don't read the subtitles.
I'm not going
to. Yeah, just turn the volume off.
Yeah, turn the volume off and just watch it.
It's ridiculous. I would say I got some chuckles out of it just because of the fucking bananas absurdity of it. It is I felt very much a knockoff of Evil Dead 2. Just trying to ratchet up the silliness to like an extreme level. Mm-hmm. It's fun. I had fun with it, Silly as shit, that one. Right on, man. We have pushed Jason Harrell's literacy to its utmost limits. Tell me you have something in English for us.
Yes, I don't have time for your literacy and reading.
Listen, man. I already read like 4 pages this week. I can't be reading anymore.
It's doch nicht noch. Just kidding. All right, this week let's check out 2019's The Dare. It's about a rare family night for Jay that takes a brutal twist when he awakens in a basement with 3 other prisoners. As their vengeful captor runs riot, Jay engages in a twisted battle to solve the puzzle to his past and save his family's future.
Check that shit out, inmates. We will do the same and compare notes next week. You said streaming on Tubi?
Yeah, Tubi, Prime, and somewhere else.
Anywhere else. Find streaming
quite a few places.
Streamed.
We dare you.
Hey-o. In the meantime, how about a little education of Darien?
Yeah.
Educating Miss Monica.
First, my clues from last week. I am in the Army, and I am doing some trading ops in the Deep South. Me and my squad have stumbled upon a Confederate graveyard full of bones and other artifacts, which are, now that I think about it, probably worth some money. But because we're a bunch of screwhead kids in the 80s, we're just going to fuck the whole thing off and party with the skulls and use them as target practice. This, of course, will cause the Confederates to raise up and start killing us off in the middle of the night. I am, of course, the Supernaturals. Fellas, have you seen this one?
Native.
Streaming on Tubi. A really bad transfer. So it stars Lieutenant Uhura as like the captain of the fucking army squad. LeVar Burton in there, and a bunch of other recognizable 80s faces whose names I can't fucking put a face to.
You're like, hey, that guy.
Hey, I know that guy.
You look familiar.
Who might I be this week, you ask?
We do ask.
Well, I am an awkward gentleman who has just recently lost my very attached and somewhat domineering mother. I have a bit of a problem letting go of her, so to speak. So I need to fill the void that she left by finding some female companionship. Unfortunately, I'm a bit of an incel, but that's the bad news. The good news, I got a flamethrower and a fireproof chamber I've made in the basement. So I think chicks are going to think that's hot.
All right.
Who might I be, you ask? Tune in next week and I will drop some knowledge on you, inmates. In the meantime, I think that's about going to do it for us. Thank you very much for joining us here in the Padded Room this week. Join us next week, starting off Terradome Month. All of our titles from next month are going to be from our one-off Terradome competitors. If you haven't chosen a fighter yet, inmates, go to paddedroompodcast.com, click the Terradome link, check out the bracket. It's already set up for you there. We don't have to even fuck around with that anymore. See who you like, see who you don't like. So far, Sammy Kerr, Rawhead Rex, and Jimmy Bones are taken. Everybody else is wide open. Should we go ahead and make our picks, gentlemen?
Sure.
No? Buddy says no.
Oh.
No, not yet.
That's because he hasn't looked at the bracket.
You should look at the bracket.
I had my pick last week.
You still want him?
Yeah.
All right, you still want Horace Pinker?
Yep.
All right, we're putting Jason down for Horace Pinker. I wanted Sammy Kerr, but fucking Tom Hardy said no. Fair enough. I put me down for oh shit. I am gonna go with the Collector from Demon Knight.
All right.
Billy Zane himself.
Yeah.
Okay, so these have to be like character, like people, or can they be a type of supernatural?
Well, we have a list of people that are in there. Who did you have in mind?
The Wraith from It Follows.
Unfortunately not.
Okay. Then I will take Lopan.
No.
No?
Who?
David Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China. Is that who you were thinking of?
Uh-huh.
Okay. No, he's not in there either. Go look at the bracket
All right.
and then decide. Well, oddly enough, we had the follower from It Follows on there, but we had to kick 4 people out.
We had to cut 4, and that was one of the.
That was one of the ones that we cut.
Okay.
And now that we bring it up, I'm kind of glad that we did, because really it just chases you down and humps you.
And you would have had to have fucked it.
That's the thing, or fuck somebody else that
Right.
fucked it. So
Yeah.
that's a whole thing. How am I going to explain how
Rawhead Rex had sex?
I mean, the name pretty much says it all, right?
There's Raw Dog Rex.
Raw dog.
I told him to wear a condom. Does he listen to me? No. Oh, shit. All right, inmates. Next week, we're kicking it all off. So go over to paddedroompodcast.com and check the whole thing out. Gentlemen, you have anything else on the week?
No.
And that's it for me.
All righty. 4, Rawhead Rex, the Collector from Demon Knight, the Terradome starting off next week. Did I say what movie we're doing next week?
Yeah.
Join us next week
I'm not sure.
for Raw
Dog Rex.
Raw Dog Rex. Kicking off Terradome month. One-off villains who are not parts of any kind of franchise. Cemeteries in the middle of the night, exploding coffins, serial killers that come back and can haunt houses while they're still alive, I think, and also kickstart zombie apocalypses. Why not? And the Padded Room Podcast, I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
Have a great week.